Oof, going live. Hey, what's good, peeps? Says I'm live. Basically, I'm gonna be going through Macbeth because if you're like me, you're in year 11. You've got GCSEs coming up. It is a bit of a struggle. I thought I'd go live and just go through Macbeth. Now, it is a very boring book, I know, but like revision counts, and I want y'all to sort of just, do you know what I mean? Pass. So if y'all could share this stream with all your friends, if you've got someone who's like, oh my god, I'm all for it, fam. It's your boy Lewis. Hey, I'm an emoji Lewis. I'm sort of shitting it. And I've been cramming all day. I've been 6 hours of this. So share this stream around with your mates and shit because like I want all of you to like revise and do well. So I'm gonna go through my notes, and I really, really want you to sort of reflect from my notes because I feel that these are helpful. I've literally looked at so many YouTube videos, and I want to make sure. Oh my god, Liz, you absolute G! Thanks so much for donating. Basically, I want to make sure that you guys do the best you can. And yeah, so I'm gonna go through the themes I got from YouTube videos, and it saves time from you guys going through YouTube videos. So yeah, so first things first, we got quotes. Now, I am going to not remember these. So tomorrow, and thank God it's at 1:30 because I am going to be cramming it in the morning, like from 9 till 12, just 3 hours solid of revising these quotes. Because quotes, they're not that important if you think about it, because, you can still paraphrase them, but you still need to know what they mean and what they're about and how it links to context and stuff. It's really, really boring. But yeah, so the first quote I've got is "Fair is foul and foul is fair." Now, they're from the Witches at the very, very beginning. And it's sort of a childish language, sort of like a nursery rhyme. And it's like a childish rhyme which underlies the credibility of the witches to make them seem like children to appeal to King James. So King James was a witch hunter. He was very famous for killing witches back in the 1600s, or Jacobean times, as it's called. And that shows that the witches have no power and the supernatural is nothing. So basically write that. Oh my god, Alicia's here, king me out here. Where's Lily? I've been FaceTiming Alicia and Lily all evening. I'm done. I can forget about question. Truth. I know questions is going to be such a pain because like that's what making me worried because I wish it's on Lady Macbeth because like Lady Macbeth is like easy to write about. Like she's manipulative. She dies. It's lit. Stop donating to me. Thank you, though. All right, the next quote is "Unsex me here." That's when Lady Macbeth begs for masculinity, trying to let go of her femininity. So she's basically trying to sort of, she's begging the spirits to become more masculine, so she can like be more powerful and like a ruler. Do you know what I mean? So, unsex, the verb, means that she wants to become less feminine and more manly because in those times, once again, always include it's Jacobean, so you know what period you're on about. You know that you're talking about that it's sort of, what's it called? Like men were more powerful. If women looked up to men and like stood up to men, they would be beaten. It's not really a vibe. It's not nice, but Lady Macbeth sort of got through to Macbeth, and Macbeth was very, very sort of very in those times. It would be like not accepted. Macbeth is probably like being a bit soft on Lady Macbeth, but whatever. So this links to patriarchy society. She needs to be more masculine to rule more because in that patriarchy society, that's what I just said, masculines were more favored than females. So this links to the feast when she takes control. So when Macbeth sees Banquo, the ghost of Banquo, King shit, Lewis, going crazy. When Macbeth sees Banquo's ghost, he freaks out. He's like, "Oh my goodness, what is going on?" He's freaking out because it's an apparition from the witches playing with his mind. And Lady Macbeth's like, "What the hell are you doing? You're the king." And then she takes control, which shows that she is in control. She wants to be powerful and shows her sort of masculine side, like escorting everybody out and telling them to go home. Alicia, out of here with your notes. Okay, what else is there? The subject is herself, so the whole subject meaning is herself. And when she says here, it's right now. It's an imperative, which means it's command. So, for example, in any novel, if you're not even doing Macbeth, then you should listen like carefully, because command is imperative. An imperative, you'll get a lot more higher marks by saying like this is an imperative and so on and so forth. This is why Lady Macbeth is so easy to write about. GCC season was the best season. I don't know, man. But yeah, that's an imperative. She's also impulsive when she doesn't think about it. We're doing much ado about nothing. Oh, that's pretty fair. I like that one. But she doesn't think about it before she says it. When she goes, unsex me here, she's just like in the heat of the moment. She's angry. She wants to sort of stand up to Macbeth. So it's a very angry, spur of the moment thing, and it links to power, the theme of power. And this is a quote from the YouTube video. Spirits only work against you, not for you. She thinks she can control the spirits, but yet she can't. Can you do Romeo and Juliet? I'm really sorry. No, I can't. I can only do Macbeth, and I'm doing Anita and Me, which literally no one is doing. Do you think the question will be about Lady Macbeth? I really, really hope so, because Lady Macbeth is so easy to write about. Oh, Lady's back. What's good? But I mean, but it was a lot, right? So the first year, it was Lady Macbeth. The second year, it was Macbeth and Banquo. The third year, I think it's going to be Macbeth by himself. If it's Donalbain, I might just leave the exam because I have no recognition of Donalbain at all. It should be Lady Macbeth, I hope so. Right, so let's move on to themes. So the main big theme that everyone talks about is ambition. That was featured in the first year of the new spec, so that might not come up again. I really, 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 really think that the theme for this year will be... I don't know. I think it might be I hope it's masculinity and cruelty. I'm really not sure. Another tip: you do not need to use the whole extract or 50-50, etc. as examiner reports. Do not mention this. Hallie, DM me what you mean on that, because I'm going to do that. So, for example, for ambition, here's a quote: "I have no spur to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other." So, for example, the spur could be Lady Macbeth in that quote, because Macbeth says that quote, and Lady Macbeth could be the spur in that. Here's another thing, though, for ambition. Ambition is the reason they die, because they're equally responsible for the death of Duncan, because their ambition for wanting royalty, but they both die at the end. So just remember to note that down. I'm here to hear your accent. It's kind of calming to hear. Thank you. There's more actually on ambition. So this one I don't really like, but all the same, you guys can use it if you want. So Banquo, quote, "I dreamt last night of the three weird sisters, which is the witches. To you have showed some truth. They have showed some truth. Please say this live because I'm in year 10. I want to come back to this advice next year." I don't know. Maybe just start screen recording, I guess. I'm not sure. I will be doing some next year. Maybe, I don't know. Like, because I really want to get into like sort of studying side for a GCC season. But yeah, Banquo dreams of the witches before he meets them. So that shows that his ambition... I got this from the video. I don't really agree with this. I'm not really going to use this, but it says Shakespeare included this to indicate that any good man can be destroyed by their ambition. This is proved later in the play when Banquo is murdered from Macbeth's ambition and his own ambition. So, yeah, I don't really agree with that one. I personally won't be using that. But this one is really, really good. It's from the Witches. Dom, which one do you use? Weird Sisters, because... Oh, weird. I'm going to be putting weird. Obviously, you get higher marks to quote the quote exactly as it is. But if you... I think you say the paraphrase if you don't know the quote fully. But I'm kind of screwed either way. So anyway, the Witches have ambition. This is from Hecate, so like the leader of the witches, I guess. And she goes... This is quote, "And which is worse, all you have done have been but for a wayward son," and then that is an insult towards Macbeth. "Spiteful and wrathful, who, as others do, loves for his ends and not for you." It's gonna be about Macbeth and Banquo relationship again. OG. Really? Who's Zahra? I don't know who that is. But if it's about Macbeth and Banquo, like they are best friends. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of insight on that. They are best friends. They battle together. They come back. And it's Macbeth ultimately betrays him in the end and gets someone to kill him, and Banquo is dead. He dies because of Macbeth's ambition. Anyway, so the witches, I felt this was really, really interesting because the ambition was that they were they're ugly, they're outcast to society, they're presumably poor, no one will marry them. So to fill that hole, they will turn to witchcraft. You know so much, Ownjet. honestly, mate, I'm reading it off my page. I'm not gonna remember this for tomorrow. So yes, make sure if you're watching this, share this with your friends because like I want all of you to do well for the exam, and I'd love to share my tips with you, and hopefully you can include that. But yeah. So, and which is worse, all of you, blah, 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 blah. They only want to be loved, and Macbeth turns to them in times of trouble and gives them the attention that they crave. However, Hecate is right. He only loves for his own ends, not for you. So basically, Macbeth only sort of gives them the attention, and they receive that as him loving them, which is what they ultimately desire, because witches are they're outcasts, they're old, they're just not very appealing to look at. And when men give them attention that they want, they feel very, very loved. And it's very, very sort of disheartening when Hecate tells them this. So in bold, I've written down here, women only get arranged marriage, their lives chosen for them, security through political alliance, not through love. So that basically means in Jacobean times, women had everything sorted out for them. They had no right of passage, no choice. Who's Macduff? Macduff is the person who kills Macbeth. He is in the play from the beginning. Make sure when you write about that you don't say novel because you will lose marks. You've got to say play. Sorry about that. Macduff is the guy who killed Macbeth. Yes, at the end he's like the cesarean section because when one of the prophecies is a man not born of woman. But yeah, thank you, Adam. Remember, look, yes, look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. That's a very, very good quote to remember. So back to the next theme is masculinity and cruelty. I really think this might be the theme for tomorrow. I'm not entirely sure. By the way, guys, please can you share this around with your friends because I would like to help as many of you as possible. Get some AirPod on this man's. My AirPods are charging downstairs, so that's kind of a problem. And also I need to use these for the mic because the AirPod mic is crap. AQA, I assume. No, I'm doing Edexcel, but this is for AQA and Edexcel. But for Edexcel, I really don't know. There's not much on the internet because Edexcel is such an unpopular exam board. AQA is much more popular for English. So I do believe that it will be masculinity. It literally could be anything. And that's the thing that sucks. You have to revise almost everything. But the spec is very, very similar. The facts is exactly the same. It's the same play. Do you know what I mean? You confident? Absolutely not. I'm sure no one is confident. You can revise as much as you want and you'll still not feel confident. So, you know, what is Macbeth about? It is basically about, oh my goodness, you have to Google it. Poetry and Macbeth tomorrow. No, I'm doing, what was it called? When do you expect calls and poems? I don't do expected calls. I'm doing very unusual pick actually. A Christmas Carol, Macbeth, and Anita and Me. So next week I've got a Christmas Carol on my poems, which is relationships. I'll be doing another live stream for that and Christmas Carol next week. And tomorrow I'm doing Macbeth and Anita and Me. So for the question, I'm doing Edexcel, but you guys, the same thing. I think so. So the question format, I've researched it today. It's like, so the first one is you're given the extract. The Shakespeare one, always given the extract, okay? So given an extract, you're told to write an essay about it, 20 marker, I presume, on how Shakespeare presents something, a character in this extract. And then it'll be a second part of that question saying throughout the whole play, how does this character presented? How is this theme presented? So it's very, very sort of, you know, there's a batty spider on your mirror doors. Is there really? I don't think so. My teacher thinks it's going to be kingship. No idea. Don't watch the Muppets Christmas Carol. Watch the Disney Christmas Carol because that is very, very similar. I learned a lot from the Disney Christmas Carol, and I'm going to be watching it next week. You need to use the extract in the whole play, mate. Yep. So the whole play is very, very helpful, but you obviously get given the extract. So, my mate last year, I'm not saying you should do this, but Chloe, if you know her, she didn't answer one of the questions from Macbeth, and she still passed with a 6. So you know what I mean? Like, it's still possible without answering a question, but I'm just saying that now. Don't do that, though. Like, I don't know. I got my math and poetry tomorrow, and spectacles checking and hiding unseen poetry next Thursday. So not prepared. Probably got this live. I'm not going too low. Do you think it will be on violence? I mean, for violence, I haven't got anything, but I do know, luckily, somehow. Violence, pardon me, that's disgusting. Violence. From the beginning, Macbeth just portrays violence. He is literally presenting violence throughout the novel play. So he's writing a novel for Anita and Me. He literally kills someone. It's quite gruesome, but like he cuts down from the chin to the belly and like rips him open and cuts off his head and puts it on the battlements. And you know, fag. I mean, you're the one hiding behind a screen, buddy. So see you later, buddy. What was I going to say? Yeah, so he's very, very gruesome, and Macbeth, you know, definitely signifies violence throughout, and violence is a main theme throughout. When do you start revising? Literally Sunday. I'll test you. What's the first thing Macbeth says? So fair and foul a day I have not seen. I think I'm doing Macbeth, Jekyll and Hyde tomorrow, Animal Farm and Poetry next week. That's like the similar thing that I'm doing. So yeah. Anyway, so masculinity and cruelty. That's another theme that I think will come up. I'm not entirely sure. So woman exploited, no proper identity or power. That's what women are. They are just literal objects, which sucks, but that is what they were in Jacobean times. Lady Macbeth has to become more masculine to become more powerful. That's why she goes, unsex me here. And then she also uses of direst cruelty and take my milk for gal. Now, this one's really, really interesting because it's quite, obviously you should take this with a pinch of salt, but she's basically asking for her breast milk to be replaced with poison. So yeah, I guess that's good. And that's a metaphor of what society does to women. So unsex me here is literally the most popular quote, and fair is foul and foul is fair, that people remember. So yeah, I don't really know, but I'm not entirely sure of what else to say. Chastise you. What? Okay. Chastise you with the valor of my tongue. Some people say that Lady Macbeth is the fourth witch, Dom. Really? I haven't heard that, but what grade are you hoping to get? Literally just pass for each. Whose videos did you watch? Mr. Bruff. I mean, I tried watching that, but it didn't really help. I might listen to his man's not hot quote thing later tonight. I have no clue. I'm just cramming at the moment, so I'm kind of panicking. For power, women have to perform in ways deemed unnatural and are rejected by society, which is damaging to men in society as well, because Macbeth says, I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none. So basically he's saying, I can't go as far as the regicide. So regicide is committing the worst act in those times, but which is killing the king. So regicide is very, very, very bad. It's like the top thing you can do, because if we go on a little bit further, there is a thing, thanks to Alicia for telling me this, the great chain of being. So back then they believed in this thing called a great chain of being, which is a metaphorical list, which goes God, then king, then like royalty, then like normal people. So the king is the second in command of the entire world as such. And to kill the king is basically killing a god. So it was very, very looked down upon. It's the worst crime he can commit. And even Macbeth, a very masculine, very, very warrior-like character, would still, have regrets and have a lot of time to think about this. But this brings in Lady Macbeth, which makes her extremely manipulative because she calls him a coward and stuff. And she says like you won't be a man if you don't do this. And apparently, I don't know if this is entirely true, but she goes in there, she comes back out because she was originally meant to kill him, and then she goes, he looks like my father. I don't know if this is true. I don't know. So moving on, some key words to remember are regicide, which is killing the king, treason, which is going against the king. So Macbeth performed both of these acts, and Lady Macbeth as well. And central protagonist. So protagonist is hero of the book, and antagonist is villain of the book. So there's not really a hero and villain of the book, but at the beginning, Macbeth seems to be the protagonist. So the context as well going on, religion, which was Protestant versus Catholics. Now, isn't it no, back in Jacobean times, James I was a Protestant and the majority of England was Catholic, and they obviously were opposing religions, and it wasn't very, very nice. So sort of Shakespeare included at the end when Malcolm has his sort of soliloquy. Let's go to the very end here. I'll read it out for you. Where is it? Here we go. We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen, the henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such an honour named. So basically he's going on and being like a sort of, a good king. And that shows that Shakespeare sort of included that to show to James I to like sort of think about being a king and think about being a good king instead of like opposing your people who you're ruling over. And then also this links in with monarchy, how supernatural try to sort of think of it as a straight line. That's what I'm thinking of, right? Okay, so think of it as a straight line, and then imagine the witches coming in and like making it sort of wobble and wobble and ruining the line of monarchy. And supernatural try to do that, but in the end, I think monarchy wins because Malcolm is restored as king as he once would have been anyway, and then sort of a straight line. So yeah, that's pretty sick. and that's the theme of monarchy. Feel bad for you. All I've done is my English exam. Macbeth is out my life. Aha, good luck. True. I mean, tomorrow, it's literally in 24 hours, will be over, and then I'll just be revising for maths and poetry. So, I mean, I'm kind of gassed, but I don't know. I'm also doing a Nietzsche and Me. Is anyone else watching this doing a Nietzsche and Me? If you are, let me know, and I'll go back to that later. But anyway, let's continue with Macbeth. So there's several themes in Macbeth. Several. So if I actually get the snap revision guide, which if you guys use AQA, this is brilliant. Pardon me. So let's go to themes. All right. So, themes begin from Shakespeare shows the consequences of killing a king to try and impress King James. Yeah, it's true, because Macbeth was never meant to be king, so that just shows that monarchy always wins and supernatural will not win. Basically, monarchy always comes out on top. So, themes: power and corruption, and there are some key quotations to learn. So that's quite rubbish quality, but if I want to read them, I will. So Lady Macbeth to King Duncan, those honours deep and broad. Quite short and sweet. So if you guys have this book, I'd read it. Trust me, like, this helped me with Christmas Carol. Also, if you have Seneca, it's free. This is not a sponsored deal. I've been using Seneca a lot recently. I learned Macbeth, the entire plot, in a day thanks to Seneca. So you can literally go to Seneca and just work. So it really helps. And this book as well really helps as well. But I mean, the only thing I need to revise from now is just like sort of a paragraph summary, because I literally am bad at writing a paragraph. So religion and the supernatural is another theme, which is like the witches and also religion, because of the, what was it called? The Great Chain of Being. And then moving on, we have temptation and manipulation. So Lady Macbeth fits into this one massively. She's a big, like, key character in manipulation theme and temptation, because when Lady Macbeth hears of like becoming the queen, she, changes her tune and manipulates Macbeth. What quotes people have for the witches? I have fair is foul and foul is fair, and all hail Macbeth. Like, they're looking up to him, but they're sort of like manipulating him as well, because they're like setting him up for failure. So I don't know. Duty and betrayal. So Macbeth fits into this one massively because he betrays the king, and he also betrays his best friend Banquo, and also betrays sort of his people because he ends up killing them instead of looking after them. So yeah, guilt and madness is another one. Guilt is good actually with Lady Macbeth because she sleepwalks in the end. Ow, Christ, I just stubbed my toe. In the end, she is very, like, she's hallucinating. She sleepwalks a lot, and she is kind of dead. Basically, she dies because she ends up killing herself from madness. So Macbeth shows guilt over killing King Duncan through the symbolic use of blood. Blood is a very big aspect in I was like killing Eve then. Macbeth. I have mocks on 17th of June. Well, that's the English one. Good luck, Neve. You got this. Someone give me quotes from Macduff. Well, there's a lot of quotes from Macduff, which I can get for you in a minute through this book. Another theme is secrets and lies. There's a lot of secrets and lies. Now, there's a really good one, actually. How Macbeth sort of looks up to his wife throughout the play, sorry. And when he doesn't tell Lady Macbeth that he got murderers to kill Banquo, he doesn't tell her that. So, yes, it's been really helpful, Adam. You should definitely check it out. If you got your exam tomorrow, trust me, read it. Are you actually smart at English? Like, what did you get on Mocks and Lit? I got, I think, well, I only did like a 20 mark and I got 17 out of 20. So I don't know. Like, I wasn't marked by proper people. It was marked by my tutor, who's really good, who gave me this book. So yeah, I've learned a lot with him. But yeah, language is my all-time favorite because it's just descriptive writing, which is piss easy. So like, it's just, yeah, do you know what I mean? Best life ever, going even better than James and Tyson. Cheers, Macy. So if anyone got any questions about Macbeth, because I would love to help you out and try my best. Christ, I got such a dry throat. My water bottle's downstairs. It's so hot in this room. Still light. It's 9:20. Christ. Best luck for tomorrow. You too, Adam. You too. Explain Macduff. All right. Okay. So Macduff. It's not this one. It's in this one, actually. All right, so also DM on Instagram if you need help. I can definitely help you out. Who the fuck is Malcolm? All right, okay. Right, let me go through one at a time. So Macduff is basically right. Here we go. So Macduff represents the average Thane. He is a moral and emotional norm in contrast with the extreme immoral behaviour of the Macbeths. He doesn't speak until Act 2, when Shakespeare needs a character to represent the normal, innocent reaction to the king's death, and later to Macbeth's tyrannical reign. My IG is @DonVlogs. Oh my god. I need to open my window. Hold up. It's so hot in here. It's like a sauna all my days. Oof. I think we sound like Steve. Oof. Okay. Did you have Greek mythology in school? Nope. So, oh my god, I didn't even know that. Yeah, Malcolm is Duncan's son. I thought you said Macduff is Malcolm's son. So Macduff's reaction is shown through the repetition and exclamations, "Oh, horror, horror, horror." That's a quote you should remember from Macduff, because it shows that he was loyal to the king and he was very, very shocked to see him dead, and Macbeth was happily like go against him, easy and peasy. His shock at the sight of Duncan's body includes a metaphorical reference to the divine right of kings, which is another theme in the play. Duncan. Okay, right. So first, let me just pause that for a minute there. Duncan is just the king. He literally dies in Act 2. He's not a very important character, but however, he doesn't like introduce some important themes such as betrayal, monarchy, and what else? Guilt. Because the guilt, if they didn't murder like Duncan, none of this would have happened. So he is sort of the reason Macbeth is a tale, I guess. But anyway, back to Macduff. So there's some key quotations to learn from Macduff. Macduff to Malcolm: "Let us rather hold fast the mortal sword and like good men bestride our downfall birthdom," which is in Act 4, Scene 3. And then Macduff, about the death of his family. Basically, Macbeth orders Macbeth kills his family himself out of anger because he wants to make sure that Macduff doesn't come anywhere near him because of the witch's new prophecies. She goes, "All my pretty ones, did you say all? Oh, hell kite all." I don't really know what this is signifying, because Shakespeare language is quite hard to sort of pick apart. And then one that is really easy to remember: Macduff to Macbeth in the battle, which is like then the final scene, is "Turn, hellhound, turn." So he's sort of fearful of Macbeth. Like Hellhound describes how he's sort of like not of this world, how Macbeth has turned, like not, no pun intended, like Macbeth has changed into this monstrous being instead of, being a normal, nice human that he was at the beginning. Fleance is the son as well of Duncan. I think Fleance and Malcolm are the sons, or I think it's Donalbain and... Okay, I really can't be asked. Anyway, ask some more questions, please, because I would like to answer them. Fleance related to the real King James, who the play was written for. Oh, sick. If you want any quote, I can drop some in here if you want. Yes, please, Emma. Help people out. This is all we're all helping each other out here. That's basically it. Fleance is Banquo's son. Fleance does survive, but the other doesn't. It's Fleance and someone else. No, Fleance dies, I think. Surely, right? I think. I can't literally, mate. It's just it's such a mess. There's so many characters to revise. But yeah, basically, don't fret if you don't know all the characters. Like, people haven't answered questions before and still pass. Yeah, Fleance dies. Wait, people say Fleance dies, Fleance escapes. Fleance escapes the murderers. Oh, okay, sick. Let me just quickly... right, let me ask some questions. Are you doing Jekyll and Hyde? No, I'm doing Anita and Me. I was doing what I was doing at school. Anita and Me, Macbeth. I was actually doing Romeo and Juliet at school, and then also doing Christmas Carol. Christmas Carol is lovely. I love Christmas Carol. Do you want me to go for Christmas Carol? I wouldn't mind. So easy. Like, it is one of my favorite books for sure. Okay, y'all want me to go for Christmas Carol? Okay, perfect. I will go for Christmas Carol. So I'll go for the plot for you first. The book's downstairs. Oh well, right. I will be going back to Macbeth after. Don't worry. 19%. Yes, it does, Hallie. I'm doing Macbeth, Christmas Carol for that. So Christmas Carol. All right. It starts Christmas Eve, 7 years prior to where the story is set. It is a novella. Remember that. So say novella. Don't say play. You can say novel. I'm going to say novella. I don't know why, but in like a practice example, it says novella. So it's like, fuck it. So yeah, Christmas Carol tomorrow, not for all of us. For AQA students, tomorrow is a 19th century novel and Shakespeare. So just be careful of that. Just look at your exam board. It should be, I don't know. Well, I'm going to be going back to Macbeth later. Don't fret. So Christmas Carol. Scrooge is Ebenezer, obviously Ebenezer Scrooge. Remember Ebenezer Scrooge because that showcases later. Thanks so much, but I'm out. See you later, buddy. It starts 7 years prior, so Jacob Marley's dead. Novella has a nicer ring to it. True, yeah, definitely. And truth, English lit, but we are studying like our past language, even though it is a pain in the ass. It is kind of fun to study, but obviously I'd rather just do English language. English lit isn't that important. They only care about English language, so just remember that. But don't think about that. Don't have that, sort of attitude when you're doing the exam. So, what was I saying? Yeah, Marley dies, and Scrooge lives by himself. They were the only two friends they had. So them two were the only two that they had with each other, basically. And then 7 years later, it's set. Scrooge is he's just not a nice person. He owns a cash lending business, so several people in the town owe him cash. Back then, the poor law and poverty were big things. So you might be asked about the poor. I don't know. I'm doing it next week, so I have no idea. But the poor law was a big thing back then, and all the sort of businessmen, the rich people, had to pay us a fee like monthly. It's called the poor law. So everyone has to pull together and donate money. I'm going to just do a quick recap of Christmas Carol, then go back to Macbeth. Don't even worry. And then basically, he's very, very rude to Bob Cratchit. He's very, very rude to his nephew Fred. And he goes back to his house and sees Jacob Marley on his door knocker. He thinks he's got food poisoning. He goes in. He eats gruel. Not soup. He eats gruel. No, I'm just doing a quick recap of a Christmas Carol. Then we're going to go back to Macbeth. Then he sees Jacob Marley, and these chains and lockboxes and weights are basically all guilt from the bad doings he's done in life. So remember that. And it's sort of, oh yeah, thank you, Emma. Emma, DM me on Instagram because I would like your help. But yeah, so Jacob Marley is very, very sort of weighed down in his guilt and bad doings in life. I wear the chains of fortune in life. Yeah, that's the quote, which is very, very good to remember. And then he says he'll be haunted by 3 ghosts throughout the night. And if not, you'll end up like me. So yes, then it's the night. He goes to bed at 2 a.m. Remember that he goes to bed at 2 a.m., not midnight. He goes to bed at 2 a.m. He wakes up to hearing bells, I think, and then it's midnight. The bell is like midnight, yeah, and it's like a sort of light ghost. What I recommend is you guys watch the Disney film. It's so helpful. So it's like it's literally like a candle, like a matchlight, going like that. That's why I find it funny. But yeah, no, poetry's not tomorrow. For some it might be, I don't know. But yeah, that's the first ghost. It's the ghost of Christmas past. He brings him back. He sees his childhood life. Blah 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 blah. I will be doing a proper Christmas Carol stream next week. Even though it's kind of bad because some of you are doing yours tomorrow. I don't know. I might do it after I finish Macbeth. So then, the ghost of Christmas past takes him to his old childhood, and then he brings him back after Scrooge tries to extinguish its light with its beacon or something. I have the Anita and Me and Macbeth exam tomorrow. So yes, and then he goes back, and then he's here there's his room's all decorated. He goes in, and there's the ghost of Christmas present sitting on a throne made of food, not presents, food. In the film, it's presents. In the novel, it's food. I promise you, it's remember that it's food because I got tripped up in that my exam. I lost marks, so don't lose marks. Don't make the same mistake I did. He's sitting on food, and he brings them around the town. He sees that Tiny Tim, they're still enjoying the Cratchits. They're still enjoying Christmas, even though they're very, very poor. They own a cottage. Bob Cratchit owns just enough to live, and they're very, 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 very poor. And Tiny Tim is ill, and he's going to die soon, and we know that, and it sort of sucks, but wait until the end. Then 2 monstrous children, that is the quote, 2 monstrous children emerge from his cloak, and they're called Ignorance and Want. So that fits, actually I'll do that later. I'll do all the meanings later, but Ignorance and Want. And then The Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. It's called Yet to Come, and that's important. It's not the Ghost of Christmas Future. It's the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, and that shows Scrooge's death, Tiny Tim's death, a very, very, very dark part of the film and the novella. So yeah, one for next week and all. I will do Death Bethany, don't worry. And yeah, then he wakes up and then he loves Christmas and he's all happy and jolly and stuff. But I'll be doing more Christmas Carol after I finish Macbeth. Okay, so any more questions on Macbeth, because we're going to be wrapping up Macbeth now. But I'm doing relationships for my exams. I'm doing all Edexcel. So if you guys are on AQA, I don't think I can help. But for like the books, obviously I can try my best to help. But apart from that, I don't think I can help at all with poems because I'm doing relationships. And relationships, oh my goodness, they are very, very easy. Well, not easy, touch wood. They're like, I prefer them over power and conflict, basically. So yeah, ask questions for Macbeth. And make sure to, yeah, I'm doing relationships. Awesome. I'll be doing relationships for next week because next week is poems. Do you have Premium Seneca? No, I don't. I don't know what the difference is. What are the quotes about the forest? So, in Macbeth, the forest, the witch's prophecy is when Burnham Forest comes to Dunestane, I think. Let's have a look. Act 5. Yeah, Burnham Wood. He orders his soldiers to cut down the branches of Burnham Wood and use them. That's Malcolm, sorry, not Macbeth. It's B-I-R. You can't misspell the word. You can, I think if you do, you get demarked, which sucks. But it's B-I-R-N-A-M. Burnham. So think of it like Byrnham. I don't know. So he sees the witches again, and they give him 3 more prophecies. So I think I can't actually remember what one of them is. Okay, so when he comes down, blah, 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 blah. I think, can someone say the quote? Because I can't remember the actual witch. So for the witch's quote, actually, I've got the book. I don't know what I'm doing. The first few quotes. Right, the first 3. Remember this, okay? This is Edexcel and AQA. I'm doing for both because it will help both of you, Macbeth, okay? Right, so the first witch says, "All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Glamis." The second witch says, "All hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor," which he's not yet. He's already Thane of Glamis, but he's going to become Thane of Cawdor. And then, "All hail Macbeth, thou that shalt be king hereafter." So he'll be king soon, basically. And the witches always repeat, like they sort of repeat hail. They all say hail a lot. So that shows that they like look up to Macbeth when they actually don't, because they're just tricking him. The spirits, the supernatural, they don't team with you. They just play with you. They toy you. So don't fall for them. Dramatic irony, as later in the plot, people notice Macduff is from C-section. Yeah. All right. So let's go to the second witch encounter. I actually don't know when that is. But let me just have a look. Look for witches. Sorry, that's everybody. To Burnham comes to Dunestane. That is one. Oh, here we go. First witch. Why now, Hecate? You look angry. Yeah, this is when they meet at the Hecate and Hecate. Sorry, and she's very angry at them. And she's like, "Macbeth only loves you because he wants your he wants your whatever they're called." Here we go. Here we go. Act 4. Right. This is Hubble Bubble Ball and Bubble, I think. Oh no, double double toil and trouble. Sorry, I'm thinking of Hocus Pocus. So thrice in brindled cat hath mewed, thrice and once the hedge pig wind. Harper cries, "'Tis time, 'tis time," and yeah, round and round about the cauldron go. In the poisoned intel story. It's sort of a rhyme. But yeah, you're better than my lit teacher. I'm really not. I'm just literally explaining my ideas from YouTube videos. So literally look at YouTube videos as well. The famous one known as double double toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble, which is very, very sort of nursery rhyme again. How it sort of fits with the sort of nursery rhyme theme. How these witches are very immature. Can I donate? It's completely up to you, but I feel bad, so I don't think you should. Keep your money. I'm literally just trying to help you for free. I don't want you to pay me for it. My 19th century novel is Christmas Carol. So Macbeth comes to visit them because he's worried after the banquet that like there are any more prophecies coming true. What's happening to him? and they sort of finish each other's sentences, which shows they are very, very in alliance with each other. They trust each other. They're not like, you know, normal siblings. They always fall out and stuff. So the first which goes speak, the second which goes demand, and the third which go will answer. So these short sentences, they're very, very short sentences. I think there's another word for a short sentence, but I can't remember what it is. Very, very powerful, used a lot in novels and plays to sort of, and very much in the English language as well, to signify sort of power or dominance or tension. So, okay, right. Oh, right, here we go. So the first apparition, this time, it's not the witches who give it, it's an apparition. So it goes, Macbeth, 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 beware Macduff, beware the Thane of Fife, dismiss me, enough. And then they go, the first witch says, he will not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first. And the second apparition says, Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth. So the repetition of Macbeth could signify sort of the dominance that these apparitions have in Macbeth, how he's like sort of believing everything he's listening to, and he's very, very scared in this moment, because there's thunder as well, which is pathetic fallacy. There's thunder and lightning throughout the play, throughout the whole entire play, and it's very, very dark and dull. The second apparition goes, be bloody, bold, and resolute, laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth. Now this makes Macbeth think, oh, you know what, everyone's woman born, who the hell isn't woman born? I'm gonna be like, no one's gonna kill me, I'm gonna live forever, I'm invincible. Think of it like he feels like he's just got the star in Mario Kart, do you know what I mean? So he's invincible. Then the third apparition goes, be lion mettled, proud, and take no care, who chafes, who frets, where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be until great Burnham Wood to hide Dunsinane. Is it Dunsinane? Yeah, Dunsinane Hill shall come against him. So basically, this means that the Dunsinane Forest, Burnham Wood, sorry, will come to Dunsinane Castle where he lives. So that's not going to happen, because have you ever seen a wood, actual trees moving, walking? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that is. He feels, what? I'm invincible. Like these prophecies. What the hell are you talking about? I'm going to win. Like no one can beat me. I'm going to be king forever. But he's very, very wrong about this. He takes this very, very wrongly. He lets the power get to his head again. Ambition, and I think hints of dramatic irony are introduced here. The audience should be like, already you're having, you know, sort of like what's it called? Like visions and stuff. What year are you in? I'm in year 11. What grade do you want? I just want to pass, mate. What did you get in your English lit mock? I got 17 out of 20. But I only did a 20 marker, so it wasn't much of an English mock. So yeah. So yeah, that's the witches. The witches can fit in massively with the supernatural theme, which I really hope. I bloody hope. If there is a god, I hope there is a bloody supernatural question. Because if it's on a brand new character, I'm going to fail. Like I'm going to fail. Trochaic meter is for poetry, but also used a lot in Shakespeare. I think it's about like the sort of the way the text goes. But yeah, context in Macbeth, the whole thing. Supernatural won't come up. It came up last year. Oh right, the fair. So it'd probably be. I don't know. I really don't know. I think if it was supernatural last year, it will probably be. Pardon me. Masculinity and cruelty. I bet. I probably last year it was for AQA. It was on the theme of supernatural. Could be supernatural for Edexcel. I've got high hopes. Everyone in Brighton hasn't revised much to pray low grade boundaries. True, it doesn't matter if it's just in Brighton, it matters around a whole country. Last year was guilt, was it? So I don't know. But yeah, guys, share this stream around with your friends. If we can 100 viewers, that'd be really, really sick. I want to help as many of you as possible. Oh my god, it's 2010, it's still light. That's so sick. Gender. I didn't do biology, I'm only taking physics. So I might do a physics live stream because I'm really, really screwed for physics. I'm not gonna lie. So gender Macbeth, that is, or guilt. Do you want guilt or gender? I'll do both. Okay, so guilt comes up first. So how is Macbeth presented as feeling guilty? So make sure to write down notes with me at the same time. So Macbeth shows guilt over killing King Duncan through the symbolic use of blood. Blood is mentioned a lot throughout the play, so make sure to use blood in any type of paragraph. If it links to the question, of course. When Macbeth thinks about trying to wash the blood from his hands in Act 2, Scene 2, Shakespeare uses the metaphor, my hand will rather / the multitudinous, right? No one's going to remember that. I may as well not just say it. Making the green one red, to show that Macbeth knows his crime is so bad that it can be never forgiven. The natural image of the oceans links to Macbeth's awareness that he has disturbed the world's natural order. So he is aware that he is aware that the witches have caused him to mess up. He's basically screwed, I guess. Macbeth is linked to madness. Madness is presented as a consequence of guilt in the play. When Macbeth asks the doctor in Act 5, Scene 3, can you not, minister to a mind deceased, pluck from the memory of his rooted sorrow, raise out the written troubles of the brain? He could be talking about Lady Macbeth's problems or his own. Guilt is shown metaphorically in rooted sorrow, using plant imagery to suggest that it grows and takes over. The madness it causes is also shown through metaphors, mind deceased and written troubles of the brain. While madness is linked to guilt through things such as Banquo's ghost, madness is also linked to paranoia. The witch's prophecy about Banquo's sons makes Macbeth feel as if he is in danger. In Act 3, Scene 2, the metaphor, oh, full of scorpions is my mind, captures how his worries are affecting his sanity. Now, that's a blimmin' good paragraph. That's a very, very strong link as well. So if you want, actually, after this, I think on my Instagram story, my Instagram is @DonVlogs. I'm going to post pages from this or send you guys DMs of pages from this book because it's really, really good and really, really helpful. All right, so how is guilt shown to make Lady Macbeth mad? I don't know much. I'm reading from a book. That's basically it. In Act 5, Scene 1, Lady Macbeth's madness is shown through her sleepwalking and her disjointed speech. She refers to her and Macbeth's past crimes to display her guilt. The clearest evidence of her guilt is the recurring blood symbolism with the rhetorical question, will these hands ne'er be clean? Showing her desperation to end her guilt. But that's when she goes, out, damn sport, out, I say. Do you remember that? I did that in drama a few years ago. Where she's sleepwalking and she goes, out, damn sport, out, I say, because her hands are covered in blood and she can't wash it off. Lady Macbeth's suicide should also be seen as a maddened response to her guilt. She sees it as her only escape from what she has done. So if you link, this can be linked to also ambition, guilt and madness, because the ambition of the pair led to their deaths, basically. So key quotations to learn. Here's the smell of blood still, which is in Act 5, Scene 1. That's from Lady Macbeth. And Macbeth says, cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff, which weighs upon the heart, which is in Act 5, Scene 3. So these are kind of, boring quotes that you can't really remember. But these are the quotes I'm going to go through now that are really, really, that I'm probably going to try and revise. They're very, very short. And they link to they did several different things, okay? All the themes, okay? Ambition, masculinity and cruelty, divine rights of kings, fate, violence, psychology of guilt, reality, appearance, supernatural, sorry. Who's Nathan? Oh my god, are you all from like one school? That's so sick. Wow, exam things. We have GCSE this week at school. I know, right? It's kind of cool. If you could share this around with your friends though, that'd be really, 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 really helpful. Because I'd love to help more than just you, basically. So be a mate, send it to a mate, and we can all revise, I guess. Right. What was the other thing? It was guilt, and also was it power? What else? Guilt and power, or what? I'm confused. Someone asked me to do guilt, and then there was something else as well. Was it supernatural? Manipulation? I can't remember. Someone asked me to do it. Duty and betrayal. Feel bad for you. You all got your exams and off to the beach. That's such a mood. Me next year. The theme of sleep, honestly, such a vibe. I can't wait to go to sleep tonight. Any chance you can say them again? The themes. Don, can you shout out? Because my friends are on here. That's sick. Alice Dyer on the squad. What's good? Good for you for revising Macbeth. Gender. That's it. Okay, cool. So the themes are gender, ambition, masculinity and cruelty, divine rights of kings, fate, violence, psychology of guilt, reality, appearance, and supernatural. What's your Insta? My Insta is @DonVlogs. If you want to ask me a question on there, let me know and I'll be on there tonight. Okay, so gender. I don't think that's actually a big theme, to be honest. English language. Oasis gaming. The reason is that because we want to pass everything. So English language isn't till June. We've got a while for that. We can do that in the half term. I'll be doing a lot of live streams in the half term. Where is gender, man? I don't think there's a gender one. I'm not gonna lie. Duty and betrayal. I don't think gender is one. Gender isn't really one, but you could just say in Jacobean times, gender is not really a main theme, but in Jacobean times, definitely. What was it called? I'm trying to think about this myself. Women were always looked down upon men. Women always had to look up to men. Like if you stood up to your husband, you'd get beaten. Just think of it like that. So like just think of someone standing up and getting punched in the face. That's like if you could. And Jacobean. So Jacob Ian, not Ian, E-A-N, not I-A-N. So yeah, women are inferior to men, and yeah, that's pretty sick actually. You're year 10, I am year 11. Women have the most impact on the play. Yes, because Lady Macbeth, because of her ambition and her manipulation, Macbeth killing King Duncan is a reason for their deaths, and their ambition is the entire reason for their deaths as well, because without ambition they wouldn't die. Patriarchal society, yes, indeed. Stereotypes, I really don't know how that links. And Sex Me Here links with gender as well, because Lady Macbeth is begging for the spirits to remove her femininity and make her more masculine. Why is revising dedication? Because I want to do this exam. Thank you so much. Good luck to all of you watching, though. I hope all of you do really well. I'm sure you'll smash it. Remember, I will be nervous. Hundreds of thousands of other teenagers around the nation will be nervous as well. Yes, it was written in Jacobean times. It was written in 1606, 3 years after James I was appointed as King of England. So, yes, that is sort of a little bit of a history lesson there. But yeah, I got all this from Seneca. Like, I literally got all this from Seneca in the last week. So, some people are predicting Macbeth and Lady Macbeth's relationship. I really hope so, because it is very, very sort of, it contrasts from the beginning and the end of the novel. The beginning, he loves her. He calls her like a nickname, which I can't remember the quote. And then at the end, they've fallen out of love completely. They've gone their separate ways, and Lady Macbeth ended up dead. And Macbeth, even though he feels sorrow, he really didn't care for her. He was more focused on, shooting, guns were invented then, killing, because this was set in 1060 or something. I don't know. Just after the gunpowder plot. Yes, that was when the Catholics tried to blow up Parliament. Good luck, class 2019. Thank you so much. Ferris Chuck, that's it, I think. These times you wish you in year 8, Dom. Truth. Macbeth and Lady Macbeth relationship was last year, wasn't it? I don't know. What was Edexcel last year? Because that's what I'm taking, and I'm screwed. Are you going to be doing the revision biology on Thursday? No, I'm not doing biology. I haven't done biology since year 10. So, revising at 9:49. Effort. Well, you're on this live stream, so I hope. Tips to remember quotes. What I've done for my poems as well is just turn them into songs on the piano. So if you know an instrument, I would definitely recommend like making some chords on there, like playing some like melodies. And if you like singing, or if you like music, I love music. Music like makes me remember so much easier. Like I can remember song lyrics like that. So I just played. Wait, Edexcel last year was guilt. No, CBA man. Oh man, that's not a vibe. I was hoping for guilt this year. Oh well. You're my favorite YouTuber, I'm not gonna lie. Thank you so much, Alice. It means a lot. So yeah, you can make a song. Remember, you guys have until 1:30 tomorrow. 1:30 tomorrow. So you have from 9 a.m. when you usually get to school up till 1:30. That is if your lessons. I'm online school, Rally app. I don't go to school. Which I'm actually kind of thankful, but I'm actually kind of nervous because like I haven't met these people who I'm going to be doing my exam with tomorrow. I don't even know which room I'm going to be doing it in. I really hope it's like a room in the side. If it's a hall, I'll be like, damn it. But yeah, Macbeth. I literally changed Macbeth last month because I really didn't want to do 12th Night. I didn't even revise 12th Night. I had no idea what 12th Night was about. Right, context of Macbeth. So there is the great chain of being. So that's a metaphorical list. I left that in earlier, which is basically it goes to God to King. Remember, God is always top and King is always second, and King is basically like the human God. Pardon me. Religion, Protestant versus Catholics, and Shakespeare includes this because at the end Markham has a little soliloquy. I think it's a soliloquy or monologue. Where it sort of reflects to King James because he knew that King James would be watching because Shakespeare wrote these plays for the king or queen. So yeah, and belief in God. I can't even remember writing. Belief in God / witches / superstition. There's a lot of belief back then. Yeah, Alicia, this is all credit to Alicia though. And then gender and equality. Women had to obey men. What is paper one literature? So it's 2 questions for Macbeth, and then it's 1 question with your post 1914 lit for Edexcel, or it's going to be your 18th century novel. So, for example, it's going to be for most of you, I think it's Macbeth and Christmas Carol because they're the easiest 2. Really helpful, thanks, Tom. No problem. Please share this around. But yeah, I'm glad to help. I want to watch and get more notes, but I always want to sleep, so I choose to sleep. Yes, guys, make sure you go to sleep by 10:30, 11, because you want to get as much sleep as possible. Because if not, you're going to be really, really tired and dragged in this exam. Mine is Macbeth and Unexpected Calls. I literally dropped Unexpected Calls. I'm really, really sorry about that. Where are the airports at? You broke boy. Oh, shame, they're downstairs. The majority of this live is our mates. I'm dead. Loving the squad though, putting up. I'm revising. That's kind of a vibe. So here are some quotes that you guys can remember. Brave Macbeth. They're literally 1 to 5 words, so they're very, very short quotes that you can remember. Brave Macbeth. That's 1 quote. That's from the captain. Basically people praised him. He was loyal and respected. So Macbeth is very, very loyal and very, very respected. At the beginning of the novel, that's your first impression of him. So don't think he's like that throughout. And what he does actually at the beginning, he kills a traitor of the king. Things like MacDonald, I'm not sure. But yeah, this year is almost 100% going to be male character for Edexcel, and the only female soliloquy so far. Has it? That's interesting. I really hope it is, actually. I hope it's Macbeth. I want to know the past Edexcel, because AQA was Banquo Macbeth last year. I don't know. Another one is I Will Not Yield. Wait, my paper one can Christmas Carol Macbeth. Maybe yeah. Okay, cool. What grade are you going for? A 4, a pass. I think anyone is. I will not yield. Macbeth, it's a verb. To yield is a verb. It's sort of circular how he will not stop fighting. I will not yield. I'll not put down my sword. I will continue fighting. I'll continue battling. And that's what he will do. And it's sort of a loop until he dies at the very end. Fair is foul. It's an oxymoron. Alliteration and sort of repetition. Fair and foul is fair. It's basically something good and bad, something about being beautiful. And they're sort of saying, they're sort of setting the tone for the play. And then when Macbeth later on in that act says, "So fair and foul a day I have not seen," that is also a foreshadow for the upcoming events of his death and all the bad stuff that's about to come in. You get cracked on a mark if you call it circular motion. Will I? Really? Is chiasmus. What's that? I have no idea. It's probably gonna be Macbeth and Lady Macbeth's relationship. I really, really hope it is. Macduff's family. They're not really mentioned that much, but Lady Macduff is in the play, but the kids I don't think are. But Macbeth goes and kills all of them, and that just shows how warrior-like he is. Are you finding GCSE difficult? I haven't taken one. I really can't say. But maths, I'm really gonna be stressful. So I'm gonna be doing a lot of math revision. You sound like you're gonna get a lot more than a 4. Not gonna lie. I don't know, mate. All I want to do is pass. Haven't revised. What do I do? Stay here. I'm joking. Listen, watch loads of YouTube videos. You have enough time to revise and at least get some more marks than you are gonna get now. Just keep at it. You've got all morning tomorrow. We're really, really lucky because you've got all morning tomorrow to revise. So if you speak to teachers and just say yo, can I go to the library please and revise for English Lit? I really want to do well. Then they should understand that because education is important and English is a very, very important subject. So they're gonna be yo, let's go. Yes, I'm taking high maths and I'm going to fail. Anyway, so another quote. Murder is yet but fantastical. Macbeth says that, and that is contemplating murder, but he's very, very, very terrified of killing Duncan. He's very, very scared of it, which shows that he's not 100% masculine. But to be honest, he doesn't really want to, commit regicide. So I don't know. But it just shows that Lady Macbeth is the sort of masculine figure in their relationship. When people are like, "Oh yeah, she's the one who wears the jeans in their relationship" or something. That's the sort of I don't know what to call it. I completely forgot. Anyway, you should let me get my drift. But speaking of that though, examiners if you're writing your exam and you're like, yeah, the examiner will get this. If you write like your own thing and it's not really evidence, it's not really backed up, and you say, yeah, the examiner will get this, they won't. They will demark it. You need to make sure it is backed up fully. You need to keep repeating the question. So if it's like, how does Macbeth present Lady Macbeth as manipulative? So Shakespeare presents Lady Macbeth as manipulative. Lady Macbeth can be presented as manipulative from always change it around, muddle the words around a little bit. Oh, we reached 100 viewers. Cheers, guys. But yeah, just always make sure to keep repeating that question so you never lose focus of the subject itself, because I usually lose the focus and I'm going on to like talk about Jacobean times or something, and then I lose marks because of that. So make sure you always stick to the subject of the question. And you get 2 questions in Macbeth, you get an extract question, and you get whole play. So we're hoping that it's a good theme this year. Maybe they'll be nicer to us because the exam has lowered their grades because last year it didn't do too well. All right. Another quote. This one is quite long, but it is at the end they say devilish Macbeth. Now Macduff says this when he finds out Beth has killed his family, and this shows that Macduff is seeking revenge, and he thinks that Macbeth is very devilish and sort of like a demon-like character who's extremely what's the word, monstrous, similar to a Christmas Carol quote, monstrous. He's very, very angry at him. His wife and kid just been killed. Like, he's gonna be pissed. He's gonna be like, oh my goodness, what? Macbeth, let's fight. And then they do, and Macduff wins. Sorry, Macduff eventually wins. Any predicted questions? I have no idea. What are you waffling? I mean, it's probably more than you know. So, link it back to the question. Yes, exactly, Darcy. Keep saying that. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent underneath. Now, this is a very popular quote, and that's what Lady Macbeth says about the banquet. How they need to put on a false facade to all of the guests arriving. They've killed King Duncan, but they need to be like unaware of it. Like, hey, welcome to our banquet. Come eat some food. Let's chill. Let's hang. And then like secretly they're like evil people who've just completed regicide, which is like the #1 biggest law you can break in the entire world at that point. Okay, cool. And another quote is horror, 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 which is Macduff discovering Duncan in his chamber, which is shows that Macduff was a very loyal supporter of his king. He didn't betray him like Macbeth did. And the repetition of horror, horror, horror shows how shocked he was. I know this is kind of a weak link, but he's very, very, very shocked when he sees his when he sees his king, sort of like his friend, really, because he was a Thane of Fife. So he was already sort of, a Thane, really. So he was always good friends with the king, very, very upset to see that he's died, and very, very sort of shocked. So it shows that he had very much a lot of empathy for the king and a lot of sympathy as well. I think that's about it. I've only got Anita and me things which I'm just going to revise. So I'm going to go revise. Why don't you go to school? Because I'm doing online school. I don't know, man. I mean, I can go. I got some more things here. So from a little bit of character profile of Macbeth. Oh my god. Right. Goodbye. So right, the first few facts on Macbeth is that he is a warrior from the start. He's brave and powerful, and he's courageous, which is your first impression. So remember that he's your first impression. He's got a quote: "A bloody execution carved out his passage." This links in to show that he's very brutal and very, very, very warrior-like. He literally cuts someone from the chin down to their belly, rips them open, and cuts off their head and places on the battlements. Very, very grim stuff. I mean, yeah, it's kind of gross if you think about it, but it shows that Macbeth doesn't really give a shit. So yeah, another one is King makes Macbeth Thane of Cawdor and uses the adjective noble to show Macbeth is honourable. And there's a quote here to support it: "What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won," which he's talking about the other Thane who betrayed the king and Macbeth went out to kill him. Wow. There's so much to learn about Macbeth, like it's actually crazy. I remember no quotes. Right, you ready? I'm gonna go for some more quotes, okay? These are some easy quotes to remember. So first things first, fair is foul and foul is fair, okay? Or just fair as foul. It's an oxymoron. It's alliteration because fair, foul, foul, fair, F. And it's sort of a repetition. Some of you guys are actually disgusting. So fair as found, found as fair. Repetition signifies the sort of loop, and also the repetition of the thunder and lightning, which is the pathetic fallacy of the play. The witches say that, and it's sort of good and bad. So good is bad and bad is good, and it shows that fair is when it should be fair is fair and bad is bad. Yet they're mixing it all up because the supernatural are trying to distort the line of monarchy. Murder is yet but fantastical. Macbeth is very, very, very scared of murdering Duncan. Is there any mods in here? Like, I literally, okay, right, I guess I'm gonna do this on myself. Some of y'all, oh my god, I genuinely CBA. Oh wait, I don't mean to delete that. Hi, user on this channel. Wait. I didn't mean to do that. Right, I think I've been raided by someone. I'm really, really sorry, but I don't know. What about Macduff's family? Macduff's family is killed by Macbeth. Okay, let me just hide all these users. Hold up. Hold up a second. Okay, some of these guys are okay, cool, whatever. Just take no notice of them. I suppose they're gonna be, yeah. Be innocent of the Norwich deal is Chuck. That shows that Macbeth is betraying Lady Macbeth, and he's lost her faith in her because he doesn't tell Lady Macbeth that he got murderers to kill Banquo. Take my milk for gout. Exactly. That is Lady Macbeth's way of saying she wants her breast milk to be turned into poison, which suggests her. She wants to turn to a masculine. She's very feminine, and she wants to turn masculine because she wants to become more sort of, what's the word? She wants to become more powerful and dominant. You got a subscription for this, cheers, man. Thank you very much, buddy. I'll be streaming a lot for the maths exam, especially next week. Could you go through some likely questions / themes? Like if they said guilt, what examples would you speak about throughout the play? Guilt. Okay, so for example, for guilt, I would just say I'd firstly look at the extract, but then guilt in the play. I think about Lady Macbeth. She dies over guilt. She goes mad. She sleepwalks. Out, damn what out I say is the blood on her hands, which she cannot physically remove. It's in her head. She gets ill. She dies. She kills herself off stage. And it's very, very tragic because of that. And guilt. What else? Macbeth is haunted by apparitions and a dagger pointing towards Duncan's room and the ghost of Banquo, his best friend who he killed. And that is all guilt. And eventually guilt and ambition are the main two reasons for their deaths. So yeah. What else do you guys wanna because Lady Macbeth dies of sage, it shows the insignificance of women in the era the play was written. That's pretty good actually, Abby. Yeah, I can see that because like Jacobean times, women were very looked down upon, very, very put to the side a lot. So that's very, very good actually. What themes / questions do you think will come up for Christmas Carol? Definitely, I think poverty. Poverty, probably. Mention ignorance and want if that happens, because ignorance is, the ignorance of the rich people. They don't care about the poor, and the want is from the people who are poor. They want money, they want a house, they want a living. So yeah, that would be for Christmas Carol. Night. I'm gonna have to end off the stream here soon because my mum's gone to bed and I need to go to bed. Oh my god, it's 10 o'clock. Whew, 12 hours to go until I'll be really bricking it. Do you think you can get 6 if you use power phrase? What's that? Like instead of using Macbeth shall sleep no more, you said Macbeth who said he will not sleep, with which sleep. Well, you could paraphrases are, I don't take my word for this, but paraphrases have been leaked on WikiLeaks. I don't think so. Basically, you can paraphrase it, which I think is possible. Like you won't lose marks for it. But obviously, you get more marks for quoting the quote exactly word for word. But obviously, if you don't, because Macbeth's got a lot of like grammar, like a lot of apostrophes and shortened words and very, very different sort of language because it's Old English. Then yeah, I think it shouldn't be too much of a difference because the grade bound is very, very low anyway. So just good luck. You got this. Just like keep revising as well tomorrow because you've got a long time to revise tomorrow morning. I have no idea what to revise, and I have no time to revise everything. Trust me, use Seneca. Go through the plot of Macbeth and A Christmas Carol and just do that tomorrow morning as well. Oh, pardon me. You can embed quotes. Yeah, so embedded quotes. Paraphrasing is allowed, but if you If you analyze something that you've added in, you won't get any marks for analysis. Oh, bye, honey. Good luck. Good luck, Macy. Best of luck. Good luck, guys. We've already got this. Yes, guys. If you believe in yourself, I know it's so cringy and I know it's like so bollocks, but like, if you you'll be nervous before because that shows you care about it. Basically, you wouldn't be nervous if you didn't care about it. You go in, you sit down, you see the question, and you think, okay, I can do this. If you think, sit down, look at the question, and go, oh my god, I can't do this. Breathe. If you've got water, please have water. Drink some. Look at the question. Plan for 10 or so minutes because you've only got an hour and 45 to do both papers. So very, 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 very like sort of time like against the clock. So yeah, I'm just scared for the test. I barely know any background quotes. Completely fine. Completely fine. You have all of tomorrow morning to do so. But yeah, everyone's speaking about biology. Literally, I did not do biology, and people are just saying it's so bad. Like, there was a Minecraft block or something. I was like, CBA. I will probably keep this up on YouTube. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. It's completely up to you guys if you want to use it. I need to do physics revision. Honestly, mate, I'd probably prioritize English lit if you want to do well in it. Depends. Edexcel. Oh, cool. Seneca. So Seneca, and it's very, 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 very helpful. So yeah, King James wrote it because he was interested in the notion of kingship. I don't know what that is about. You need to do biology? No, I just do physics, and I'm screwed for physics because I didn't want to do chemistry because chemistry, oh my goodness, what an awful, awful subject. I can't do it. You don't need to know specific quotes for each character because you can use stage directions for them if you are really struggling for content. Yeah, so for example, Lady Macbeth, if you know no quotes from her, you can say she dies off stage to show that if the theme is like about gender, which is very, very rare, but she dies off stage because, what is it? She is like women will just look down upon in those times. I'm sorry, I'm stressing. Don't be sorry at all. I'm stressing as well. Can you explain some examples, characters throughout Christmas Carol? Could you speak about if you got asked about poverty? Right. Poverty. It was a very, very big thing in those days. Massive. People lived on the streets. People had, because the winter was so cold, they hated it, but they had to sacrifice themselves to the workhouse, or they had to go to prisons. And none of these were good. People would rather literally die on the streets than go, because workhouse, you were worked from 6 a.m. to like 10 p.m. You'd only have like 5 hours sleep or something. Not a nice bed, but you would be fed. And that is the reason people went. We can all stress together. I know. I mean, I just want to do like pass. Really, that's it. Because like, if not, because if you're homeschooled, you have to pay for your own exams. So I've got to repay for them if I fail, which I'm hoping I don't. Everyone's going to bed around me, but I'm here multitasking chemistry and English. Chemistry, do tomorrow, bro. Like, honestly, just don't cram it all in because your brain will not think about it all. Don't cram because your brain cannot take it all in. It will take in a few facts at most. What do you think the Macbeth question is going to be? Well, I'm doing Edexcel, and the majority of people are doing AQA. So I think the question might be ambition for Edexcel, and for AQA it might be guilt. I have no idea. Don't go on what I'm saying. Shakespeare wrote the play with intention of, yeah, Shakespeare always wrote his plays in intention of pleasing the person who was in charge, aka the queen or king. You get 2 WIB and 1 Macbeth questions right. No, you get 2 Macbeth questions and 1 post 1914th century lit, post 1914 lit, sorry, or that's for me, or I don't know. What is it for you guys? 19th century lit. What am I saying? Literally Christmas Carol for most of you. I don't know. Talk about the theme of guilt. So guilt kills Lady Macbeth. Guilt is a very big thing because it kills Macbeth as well. And if kingship is the theme, I will win. I will wet myself in a good way. Haven't really studied kingship. I'm gonna have to study that tonight. Gonna go sleep now. Don't mind, thanks for the help with you, Angel. No problem. Good luck, Lucy. Best of luck. You got this. Remember, just deep breaths before the exam. I'm gonna be shitting myself. We all are. Just remember, you got this, and you will. If you want to, you can retake. Doesn't matter, but it's probably gonna pass anyway because the grade boundaries will be probably really low. But yeah, I thought the theme of the AQA is gonna be kingship. If it is good for you, I really hope it's not for Edexcel because I really haven't studied that. But yeah, so guilt comes up. If it does, I'll jump for joy metaphorically. Yeah, true. Guilt leads to the character of Macbeth having a tragic downfall. AF3, Macbeth is a Greek tragedy. Interesting. Good luck, guys. Much love to you all. Yes, good luck to everybody. So some of you have a poem tomorrow. I don't know. I'm not doing poems until next week. Do you think it will be bad if I wrote someone else's name and candidate and no on the front? Is that illegal? Technically, I think that would be forgery because even if the person gave you their permission, you're still acting as someone else, which is like, I don't know. It's not on. I wouldn't recommend doing it. But good idea to avoid getting a grade. Like then you'd be like, "Where's your exam?" Good, Dominic. All the best. Thank you so much, Sally. For kingship, I'll talk about Duncan, Macbeth, and Malcolm as kings. Oh, kingship. Okay, so there's only 3 kings in the novel. Monarchy takes. Okay, kingship like monarchy takes place. Okay, epic. I know that then. Jekyll and Hyde. Just talk about like juxtaposition between the 2 characters. They're both the same people, but they are the characters, the same people. Good, Dominic. All the best. Thank you so much, Barnaby. Did everyone witness that? Witness what? Christmas Carol quotes. Are there no prisons? I carry the chains. I bear the chains I forge in life. I think. Juxtaposition is literally another word for contrast. So juxtaposition is a more advanced word, which the examiners will be like, "Oh, tick." Hope so. You're gonna do amazing. Good luck. Thank you so much. I literally have not had tea. I've been working all day. Oh, it was since 11 a.m. I've been working. Write an introduction full of AO3 to ensure you get the highest marks possible. But in your introduction and conclusion, you don't get marks. You just get them in your paragraphs. Wait, themes of Macbeth came on late. Themes: ambition, masculinity and cruelty, divine rights of kings, fate, violence, psychology of guilt, reality, and appearance. There's also a lot more supernatural and monarchy kind of one, but I think it'll be kingship. Macduff probably would come up, maybe. You have no idea. But he is probably a main because he is the one who kills Macbeth, the protagonist / antagonist of the novel, the play. I'm gonna mess that one up. I'm probably no. If you don't fail, if you have YouTube. Shush. What is fate? I haven't actually looked at fate to be honest, but I think it's like fate, the sealed fate of all the characters. So Macbeth, Macbeth is Shakespeare. Macbeth has his fate sorted out for him because he eventually dies. Lady Macbeth dies from her fate. She kills herself. Dom, mate, is Christmas Carol and Macbeth in the same exam? For some, if you're doing AQA, I believe it is. I'm not entirely sure. Dom, go to sleep because I want to sleep, but I don't want to miss out, lol. I think I'm going to end off this live soon, but I'm loving it. I could do a live tomorrow morning. I don't mind. I don't know. I really don't know because, like, I have no clue. I have no clue whatsoever. But I mean, would you guys want me to do a live tomorrow morning? Like, pardon me, like in the late morning, or do one after the exam? I could do. Yes, people are saying yes, but like people are at school. I don't mind doing another one tomorrow morning. And that will help me as well. Shooting for money, you're so good. Thank you, but I don't think I am. So stay hydrated though. Get some good sleep. Have sugar or some sort before the exam, and the adrenaline will kick in once you're in there. I'll drop your DM. Good luck. Thank you, Emma. I'll check it out. DM me on Instagram at @DomVlogs if you need help. Thank you all so much for this beautiful, beautiful live stream. I really hope that helped you a lot. But yeah, best of luck to all of you guys. And remember, grades. I know it's cringy, but they do not define you. Okay, they do not define you. So. But DM me on Instagram at @DomVlogs if you have any questions, and I will revise to you. Best of luck to all of you. Lots of love, and make sure to subscribe to me if you haven't already. Peace out, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Good luck if I don't stream. If I don't stream, I don't know. But lots of love. It's been amazing. Peace out.